Alright, how's it going everybody? Jacob Kronbeck here talking to you guys about my final presentation or that final project. So for this one, I actually got in contact with one of my old softball players I used to work with at Minnesota State, and just to kind of see how her input was on the psychological performance aspect of things. So things that I learned and kind of talked about with her were the coach's influence on the player or the athlete, and not just the one but the entire team itself, and how it can kind of change things and how everything works. So influencing who the players are with, as far as athletic trainer wise, strength coach wise, can all have an input of how the team kind of develops. And then also having that mental health situation and how it's not always really taken seriously with most coaches, especially with the aspect of kind of making them push through things, which is good, but to an extent it's not so great. And then again, that mental or stress problems that athletes can be faced with. So of course you have distress, which isn't the greatest kinds of stresses, which we all know athletes go through on a daily basis. And then you also have the good stress, which can kind of help the athletes along, especially in progressing with who they are. And then also the relationships that they deal with. So this can be anywhere from the coaches to their professors, especially with trying to get assignments and exams done, and making sure that those are in on time, and making sure that their grades are actually high enough so they can actually participate in the sport. But then also their relationship with the other athletes and their teammates, especially because that's going to be that groundwork that they're going to have in order to build a strong connection. And then just the student-athlete relationship, so that relationship with themselves, being able to balance the student life along with being an athlete part. It can be very tough, especially with the time that it takes in order to go to class and then hop to practice, or even go back and forth between them. It can take a very hard toll as far as stress-wise can be. And then it can also kind of work with their flow of performance, because they can get this attitude of focusing too hard on performing well. And this can actually hinder their performance, or that inverted U shape. It can actually be on polar sides, to where their performance isn't going to be the best that it can be. So further driving away from that peak performance, or the top of that U curve, which where we want it to be. So just allowing themselves get to that point. So kind of letting things flow normally as it would, taking the right movements, and just letting the body go through its natural causes. But that's all I got. Thanks you guys for your time.